afternoon. Welcome to the 71st commencement exercises of Bay State College. Will the graduating class of 2017 please remain standing? To our distinguished speaker, Dr. Peter Asnes, President Pfannenstiel, the Board of Trustees, members of the faculty, administration, family, and friends, I have the wonderful honor of introducing you to the 2017 graduating class of Bay State College. To everyone who helped these students reach this graduation, thank you. Thank you to parents, grandparents, guardians, brothers and sisters, husbands, wives, relatives, and friends. Thank you to the instructors, tutors, staff who challenged, explained, listened, encouraged, supported, and believed in these graduates. I'd like to ask all the graduates to turn around and show recognition and gratitude to these very people whose support made it possible for you to be here today. Okay, graduates, please be seated. Okay, we're going to begin the commencement exercises by introducing this year's valedictorians for both the day and evening divisions. The valedictorian award is given to the graduate who has attained the highest overall academic average while attending Bay State College. From the day division, graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Entertainment Management, Audio Production concentration, and a grade point average of 3.89 is Robert Dennis Cotu. I'd like to invite Robert up to the stage. Robert joined Bay State College in the Department of Entertainment Management, Audio Engineering in the fall of 2013. From his very first day at Bay State, Robert impressed his instructors with his commitment to his education, dedication to continuously improving, support of his peers. In a field where teamwork is critical, Robert was not simply just a talented individual, he also stood out as a key team player, one who gave generously of his own gifts and insights while being committed to supporting the contributions of his teammates. Robert embodies the core values of Bay State College: quality, respect, and support. Like many of his fellow graduates, Robert worked all through college, and as difficult as that always is, he never lost sight of his ultimate goals: to do his very best every day and in every way. His instructors saw it, his peers saw it, his family and friends saw it, and soon, as Robert begins his professional career, his colleagues will see it as well.
Good afternoon. I'd first like to thank the members of the Board of Directors, President Pfannenstiel, Vice President Carroll, Dr. Peter Asnes, the college faculty, administration, and staff, the friends and family that have come out today, and especially the Bay State College graduating class of 2017. This past Tuesday, while I was driving into work in bumper-to-bumper traffic, I received a call. I didn't recognize the number, so I didn't answer, and figured if it was someone I knew, they'd leave a voicemail. Sure enough, as I arrived at my job at the Fairmont Hotel in Copley Square, I noticed that there was, in fact, a voicemail from Professor Patrick Preston, asking me to call him as soon as I could. Based on the way he talks in the message, I couldn't tell if this was good news or bad news. Because I had finished my classes in December, so I wasn't expecting any news from the school. I called him back once I got into work, and that was when I received the news that I was Bay State College's 2017 valedictorian. response was, "That means I have to give a speech, right?" To which Professor Preston replied, "Well, it's either that or an interpretive dance." I immediately told my family, my girlfriend, my friends the news, to which they responded with congratulations and even some tears. I then sat down and started thinking of what to say. Never in a million years would I have thought that I would be valedictorian of my graduating class, because I know the competition was fierce and the students at Bay State College are determined and intelligent. However, I'm sure that my general experiences at this school don't differ a lot from my fellow graduates. While we all have our own experiences, we all still went to parties, pulled all-nighters on a paper or project, or crammed studying for one of our many exams. I personally owe a lot to Bay State College. I found a job as a tutor during my years on campus. I gained professional connections and a wealth of knowledge, which led me to my current career as an AV technician. But our time here at Bay State College has brought on various rewards and challenges. We found friends, we found love, we found new parts of ourselves. See, before Bay State College, I would have never gotten up here for this speech. I, like many of my fellow graduates I'm sure, had to face my insecurities head on and use the opportunities put in front of me to change who I was. Whether it was through Professor Jeff Mason's public speaking class, giving a presentation in one of Professor Pam Grill's literature classes, or going through one of Professor Preston's ruthless graded discussions. These are the academic experiences that I cherish the most. As much as I might have dreaded these assignments at the time, the more I look back on it, it only reinforces the fact that the situations that you dread the most can end up making you stronger and better once they're over. We need to embrace challenges. We need to learn to take criticism to heart, and we must never stop creating the best version of ourselves. Put yourself out there, even if you know there's a strong possibility of rejection. You hear these words all the time, but they are eternally true. You only regret the chances that you don't take. I'm sure many of us wouldn't be here if we didn't take a chance, but we need to remember to keep taking chances, because that's what life is. We are defined by the choices we make, and if we only take the easy and comfortable path, we cannot expect to grow as individuals. So enjoy today, enjoy this moment with the many friends and families that have come out today. But after today, I'm challenging all of us, myself included, to take the difficult path, to be outspoken, to be confident, and to never, ever settle. But also, always be proud of our accomplishment in graduating today. We made it, and no one can take that from us. Congratulations to this amazing class of 2017, and thank you to our friends, families, and especially our professors, department heads, and the entire Bay State College staff.
Let's hear it for Robert. Now we have a valedictorian from the evening division. Graduating with an Associate Applied Science in Medical Office Administration and a grade point average of 3.94 is Carrie Marie Struck. I'd like to invite Carrie up to the stage. A mother to 14-year-old Kaylee and a wife of 15 years, Carrie Struck has always followed her childhood dream of serving others. After working as a visual merchandiser for 7 years and account executive for 6 years, she landed at Bay State in the Medical Office Administration program. While here, Carrie has shown herself to be an outstanding student and a real professional. She hopes in the future to work in an allergy and asthma care setting, a laboratory setting, or for an insurance company. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, everybody. Members of the Board of Directors, President Pfannenstiel, Vice President Carroll, Dr. Peter Asnes, college faculty, administration, and staff, family and friends, and Bay State College's graduating class of 2017. When I decided at the age of 34 that I was going to return to school, I knew I wanted to get good grades. I knew I wanted to show my daughter that it was never too late to get an education and better your life. However, I never thought that I would be standing in the spot that I am right now. When my advisor, Dr. Margaret Gilman, called me to inform me that I was valedictorian of the evening division, I was absolutely shocked. My daughter was there when I received the phone call, and when I shared the news with her, she gave me the biggest hug I think she has ever given me. That's when I knew that I had achieved the goal I set out to achieve, becoming a college graduate and embarking on a new career. Audrey Hepburn once said, "Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible." Think about this for a second. Not only did I show my daughter that anything is possible, I have proved to myself that I'm possible, a feeling that has never been felt before. During the past 2 years at Bay State College, all the graduates here have gone through so much. While going to class, staying up all night to study, complete assignments, writing essays, and taking tests and quizzes, we also had families, jobs, and many other things that needed to be attended to. There were also many obstacles that tried to stand in our way. We've missed our favorite television shows, nights out with friends, family events, and some of us have even suffered loss and tragedy. However, we did not let those obstacles stop us from achieving our goals. Instead, we refused to give up, and we used them as motivation, and that is why we are all here today. I feel so proud to be standing in front of you today. However, when I look out at my fellow graduates, I know that many of you are exactly like me. We're not all the same age, we have not all chosen the same college major, but we have something in common that no one will ever be able to take away from us. We have attended a small college in the heart of Boston in Taunton, Massachusetts. We have developed close friendships with our classmates and even our advisors. I leave knowing that the staff of Bay State College knows my name, and guess what? They know your name sitting in the audience as well. I'm very glad that I chose a small college because I just don't think I would have fit in as a number in a large university. I would like to say thank you to the wonderful staff and students that have come into my life during the past 2 years. When I first started school, I thought no one would want to be my partner or talk to me, and that the teachers were going to be evil and mean. From the very first step I took onto the Taunton campus, I was treated like family and felt so comfortable. Everyone was so warm, welcoming, kind, and helpful. Both the staff and the students made me feel like I belonged there, and that every single one of them wanted me to be successful. Whenever I had a question, concern, or felt like I couldn't handle it all, they were all right beside me to encourage me and to help me through it. They were all so wonderful, and I will forever be grateful for what I have learned from them. I would also like to thank my family for their support and encouragement through my journey. They stood by my side, offered kind words of encouragement, and never let me get discouraged. They stayed on the roller coaster with me, helped me through it all, witnessed my tears, my fears, and all my happy and excited moments. Thank you to my wonderful husband, Rob, for your sense of humor, for being my backbone, my strength, and believing in me when I did not. Thank you to my daughter, Kaylee, for your smiles and teaching me how to use PowerPoint. Thank you to my mom and dad for your support through the years, even though some decisions I made were not the best ones. I realize now that yes, I should have listened to you. Thank you to my sister and her family, and to my friend Natalie, who saw something in me that I just could not see. I love you all, and without your unconditional love and patience, I would not be standing here. Finally, I would like to say congratulations to the class of 2017. It is finally safe to say we've made it. The sky is the limit for us now, and we should all be so excited and proud of ourselves for making it here. The world is waiting for us, and I cannot wait to see what our futures hold. I wish nothing but the best of luck to you all in all your future endeavors. Thank you.
Congratulations, Craig. Now my honor to introduce the president of Bay State College, Craig Pfannenstiel.
Good afternoon, everybody. Congratulations. This is an exciting day. It's the best day of the year, right, in college? And for those of you who are here graduating and sitting here before us, I'll skip the formalities and get right to my speech so we can move on to the celebration. But my speech is called The Secret to Success. And I'm going to give you, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, and that is the secret to success. Yep, you're probably asking yourself, why are you telling us this now? You could have told us this, 2 years ago, 4 years ago at orientation. Skip the blood, sweat, tears, the money. Could have just given us the secret right back then, right? Well, the secret to success is not a surprise, it's happiness. And I'm going to tell you why and how to find happiness. And it's called positive psychology. It's something that I talk about fairly frequently with people that I work with. And this is not just half the glass half full business. First, I was listening. It was either listening to the radio or I was reading a book, and I can't remember. But the person or the author was saying that every one of us has an epic story within us. Every one of you has an epic story. We're all individually a collection of our stories, and together we have our own unique but epic story. And of course, we're all still writing our stories, and that's an amazing thing when you think about it. We get to make choices about what we do and who we do it with. Right? We get to make choices about how we want to feel and who our friends are and what we want to be when we grow up. Even when you're approaching 50 years old, like I am. You have the ability to create your own superpower in your own life story. We're going to talk about that for a second. Within your epic story is you. You are a college graduate and you have knowledge. But knowledge is nothing without action, right? You can know that you need to go to class, right? But if you don't go to class, that's meaningless. You can know that exercise is important in your life, but without taking action, your knowledge isn't going to be very helpful. I've been reading this book, The Happiness Advantage by Shawn Achor, and in it, he tells us that the most successful people in the world have what's called an internal locus of control. I mentioned it this morning at the honor ceremony. In other words, the most successful people know deep down inside that actions lead to outcomes. Right? Pretty simple stuff, but it's also powerful. This is a superpower, I think, within our own human being, right? We have the ability to write this. We have the ability to take these actions. So we're going to put these actions to work with our friends. And that's got to be the easiest group to work with if you want to figure out what your superpower is. It's going to help you develop your epic story. So speaking of friends, have you ever heard that you are a mix of the traits of your 6 closest friends? Right? Think about it. If you think about the 6 people you spend the most time with, and particularly those that you choose to spend time with, you're essentially looking in the mirror of today and seeing a reflection of you tomorrow. You are making the choices about who you want to be. Do you choose people that make you feel happy? Make you feel like you can do anything in the world? Or make you feel like you could run a marathon tomorrow? Or do you hang out with people that are cynical, believe the world is conspiring against them, or don't believe you can or they can do anything you want. Point is, surround yourself with people who make you think you can do even more than you think you can. It's a little bit what Carrie was talking about. Take this action. I've been lucky to have a few friends like that who made me believe in myself. I have a friend named Pete. He may be here. I shared my speech with my wife and she sent it to Pete. So Pete may be here. But Pete, I will tell you, he may admit this himself, he's not particularly athletic. He didn't really play sports in high school. He wasn't born the smartest, the richest, or the best at anything in particular. Just like me, right? Average guy. As a matter of fact, he got kicked out of a Catholic grade school as a child. But what he has is an infallible confidence that he can do anything. Actually, to be more specific, it doesn't even register with him that he can't do something that someone else can do. This is his superpower. I was sitting in my office on a cold November day here at Bay State about 6 years ago, and Pete called me on the phone. Before even saying hello, he said, "Craig, we're signing up for an Ironman." I replied, no, forget it. I've never even run a marathon. I'm like, "You're crazy. You're an idiot." I gave him about 10 other excuses why this was dumb and impossible and why I couldn't possibly do it. I thought I would die. After some convincing, he had me signed up for a 140-mile race right there on the phone. He wouldn't let me get off the phone. And you know what? We did it. We didn't break any records, but we finished. And he proved to me that when you put self-doubt aside, you can do 10 times what you think you can do. When you have a positive attitude, you can do anything. I cursed him continuously through training. But ever since the day we finished, I thank him for what he did for me, making me believe in myself. I don't always thank him to his face, but I thank him every day, and he knows that. My second story is a story about a guy named Will. Will is the happiest guy I know. He has a great family with an adoring wife and 3 sweet little girls. He's a successful lawyer, and his friends, including me, feel lucky to be part of his enormous circle. What is most impressive about Will is he has the most amazing positive attitude. It's different than not believing you can't do something. It is that effervescent personality that radiates in a room. You know, when you have someone in your life that makes you feel special every minute you're together, someone who, when his or her name is mentioned, it makes you smile. Whenever I talk about Will with other people, discussions are always about what a great person Will is. He's the best, nicest guy. That's Will. When I'm in those conversations with other people, I think to myself, I hope people think about me that way. I want to be like Will. So Will belongs to my gym. We do CrossFit together. And before I knew Will really well, I remember going to the gym early. It was about 6:30 in the morning. And several days in a row, I noticed Will already working out with the head trainer before our class started. He was working out before working out. What I found out later is he had just learned he had cancer. He had to sit his little daughters down and tell them Daddy was sick, but Daddy was going to beat this thing. He had that locus of control. He knew that if he took action to get as healthy and strong as he could get a positive outcome. Actually, he knew he would get a positive outcome. I'm not saying he never had doubts, but his overriding philosophy was, if anybody can beat this, I can beat this, and I'm going to beat this. And he did. My last little story is one from my own professional life. Before I came to Bay State, I remember going through a particularly tough time at work. I was a leader in a turnaround situation, and many people depended on me. My employees and our customers depended on me, My family depended on me. But it seemed like for months nothing was going right. I kept saying to myself, we need a win, a small win. A few months into the turnaround, when nothing appeared to be going right, I had an employee come to me. She was very bright. She was fully invested in the battles. She asked me, how do you do it? How do you keep fighting? It took me by surprise, but it came to me. I told her, no matter what happens in a day, I wake up the next morning knowing I can succeed. It may not always be right, but I realized that I had that advantage. I had the positive psychology. That was my superpower. It was a little bit of Pete. It was a little bit of Will. It was a little bit of those 6 or so people that represent my mirror, my reflection. Now, what does this have to do with happiness? What is happiness? Right? It's relative for every human being. My happiness is not your happiness, right? Everyone's different. And we know some people have a much more difficult time being happy than others. But my belief is that happiness starts with attitude, and it's a positive attitude. This is a superpower you can choose to have in your epic story as you move forward. In the book, Shawn Achor tells us how to be happy. He gives us 7 things to do to be happy. So I'll just read them pretty quickly. 1 is to meditate. I've actually tried it. It's not my thing. Use an app called Headspace. Makes you feel calm. Second piece of advice is find something to look forward to. Right? So I know that when I'm feeling tired or I want to look forward to something, I think about going on vacation with my family. Commit acts of kindness. Of course, that helps. Helping others makes us feel good. Right? Infuse positivity. The 4th thing is infuse positivity into your surroundings. Right? This is be the will in your circle of influence. Number 5 is exercise. It actually creates a hormonal change in your body and help you feel positive. Next one was spend money, but not on things, not on stuff, on experiences like vacations. Number 7 was exercise a signature strength. This is your superpower, whatever that is. Exercise it. If it's being positive, be positive as much as you can possibly be positive. And then I added 1 thing we could do to be happy, and I think it's already been mentioned tonight, or this afternoon, and that's gratitude. We could start today with gratitude for those sitting behind you, right? Saying thank you feels good. Feeling gratitude every day feels good. Try each day to say 3 things you're thankful for. Thank you very much. Stay positive, be happy, and congratulations. I want to introduce our speaker, Dr. Peter Asness. You can read his bio right in your program, so I'm not going to read it. But obviously, he has an extremely impressive career. I think he's going to have some good stories for us about the people he interacts with across his life. I can read this to you, but I will let you know that I think the most important thing about Dr. Asness is that he is married to my sister's best friend.
Thank you so much to everybody here for having me and allowing me to have a presence in this very special day for you. And my name is Pete Asness, and I'm an orthopedic surgeon. I specialize in sports medicine, and I run the sports medicine service over at Mass General Hospital. And in doing so, I also care for some of our beloved Boston sports teams, which is what I'm going to talk about a little bit today. But I take care of the Boston Red Sox and the Boston Bruins and the New England Patriots. So you've heard about them. I'm happy. I was comforted. I wasn't sure. I've never done a commencement speech before, so I wasn't sure exactly what the crowd would be like. But when I walked in, I saw a number of Red Sox hats and Bruins jerseys, so I'm in the right place. But I have to tell you that from a very young age, I was entangled in the Boston-New York sports rivalry. And I was born in New York. Don't hold it against me. It wasn't my choice. But as many young kids do, I rooted for the home team. And so in New York, it's a little bit different than Boston, because in New York, you root for the Mets and the Yankees, and the Knicks and the Nets, and the Islanders and the Rangers, and the Jets and the Giants, and you really just see who's doing well that year, and that's who you root for. And so I think in New York, we're bred to be fair weather fans. But it works for us, and there's usually a good outcome, and that all changed in 1990 when I moved to Boston. And as most stories go, I met a girl. And this girl that I met was from Westwood, and she was an absolute psychotic Boston sports fan. And she grew up watching the Patriots and the Red Sox games with her brothers and her father and her mother. And she described summer nights in Westwood with the windows open and the Red Sox game in the background. And she became very passionate about the Boston sports team, and she really loved them. And eventually this girl became my wife. And we've had a great marriage, but in the beginning it was a little bit touch and go because of that Boston-New York sports rivalry. And it came to a head in October 2003. And I already, some people know where I'm going with this, but I made the mistake of sitting next to her while we watched Game 7 of the ALCS. And Tim Wakefield launched the not so shaky pitch, and Aaron Boone launched it right out of the stadium. And I made the terrible mistake of making a little fist bump. And then I remembered who was sitting next to me, and I looked over to my right, and she didn't say a word. She got up, she walked to the bedroom, and she closed the door, and then locked the door. And I said, all right, well, I'm gonna let her cool off overnight. I'll see what happens tomorrow. And then tomorrow, I wake up on the couch, she comes out, and I was mixed because my team just won. We were going to the World Series, but I was in trouble. So she comes out and she says, you know, I was up all night, and I could tell she was, because you could see that she hadn't slept much. And she was like, I was thinking about the Red Sox. It was making me think about my dad and my grandparents and how badly they wanted to win. And I was thinking about how much I hate the Yankees. And she said, and I just don't know that this is going to work. And I said, well, what do you mean? She's like, I just don't think I can be married to a Yankees fan. And she wasn't kidding. I was like, this is the game. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. But she, life and marriage is about compromise, so I took that to heart, and I knew that we'd have to make some small adjustments. And then fast forward a few years, we went back to New York, I finished my training, and then we came back to Boston, and I finalized my training, and I was offered a job at Mass General. And as part of that job, I would be taking care of the enemy. I'd be taking care of the teams, and at first I didn't know how to feel about that, but when you get to know the players, and you get to know their families, and you get to become a part of the organization, it was a pretty easy transition. So I was one who grew up a fair weather New York sports fan, and now I am an absolute diehard Boston sports fan. I can't believe I ever rooted for Aaron Boone. I disgust myself. But I've been very lucky to be here for the past 12 years and being involved with these team in this run in Boston, where I've been a part of 7 championship teams in a 12-year period of time. My kids expect a parade every time the season ends. It's amazing. But I will say that my favorite part of taking care of the teams is the life lessons that you learn in watching sport and watching athletes, and you can pull such great things and great lessons for yourself and your kids out of sports. And so I wanted to reflect briefly on 3 teams. There was the 2011 Stanley Cup champion Boston Bruins. There was the 2013 World Series champion Boston Red Sox. And then, of course, there was the 2016-2017 New England Patriot Super Bowl champions. I just wanted to share my thoughts on each one of these teams, because I think as we think about going out into the world and getting into the next phase of our lives, we can pull things from each of these teams that will be really helpful. So when you go back to 2011 in the Boston Bruins, these guys were the quintessential underdogs, right? They were gritty and they were tough, and every cliche you can think of about an underdog, they were. And what they lacked in talent, they brought in passion and energy and just this refuse to lose attitude that was just infectious, and that they were amazing. But to me, what set them apart was their loyalty to one another. And they played for one another. And in the Stanley Cup Finals, when Nathan Horton sustained that horrific injury with that cheap shot from Aaron Rome, I knew then that things were going to change. And when you watch that series, they were down 2-0 and losing in that game. They came back and they played for each other. They weren't going to let it end that way because they weren't going to let that happen to Nathan. And watching that and watching them come together as a team and their loyalty was something I'll never forget, and that's something we should all remember. And then fast forward to the 2013 Boston Red Sox, and what a year that was. But the real event that happened that year was one of the most tragic events that ever happened in the history of Boston, which was the Boston Marathon bombing. And I don't think anything good can ever come from that, but that was an event that galvanized that team and that galvanized the city, and it brought everybody together. And I remember watching those players, and they really left their egos at the door, and they understood that they weren't playing for themselves, and they weren't even playing for their team all the time, but they were playing for Boston. And they understood from Poppy's famous Boston speech at Fenway Park until the time they won and they were on the duck boats on Boylston Street, they knew that they were playing for a greater good, and they knew that they were so important in the healing process that Boston went through. And I'll never forget that about that team, how they were able to think about themselves but understand that their goal was something much bigger than an individual goal. And then finally, we'll fast forward to the New England Patriots, and I'm sure some of you watched that Super Bowl from February. But in my mind, the best comeback of all time ever in sports, right? That was unbelievable. And I don't think any of us, I'm not sure any of us could have predicted that outcome. And to me, from that team, there was no quit, and they were able to compartmentalize in a way that I've never seen. They had gone through this horrible half, and they were able to put that behind them and say, all right, we can't think about the 30 points we need, but we just need a first down. And then we just need to get a touchdown, and we just need to then make a defensive stand. They're able to break it down, and as Coach Belichick always says, everybody does their job, and they're able to really do that and put the emotion aside and think about the single task at hand right in front of them and not worry about all the noise and all the negativity around that. And I remember at halftime, we were in the little doctor's area, and some of the players were coming back to get some attention for some bumps and bruises. And I thought the players were disappointed, obviously, but they seemed okay. And then Brady walked back into the room, and he looks around at his teammates, who all look up at him like the leader that he is, and he says, guys, we're fine. We got this. We're a better team than them. We're going to be fine. And you could see their moods just lighten, and they knew they could do it if they could just focus on the very next play. And for me, I think succeeding in all of life it's so important to be able to put aside the negativity, as we just heard, and focus on the next task at hand and accomplish that task. So what a great lesson, and I was so happy that my kids are old enough to understand what that game meant and what you can really take from that game in your life. So I think that as I look into this sea of graduates, this is such an exciting time, and I'm envious of you in many ways, because I think back to being in the chair that you're in, and you have so many great choices to make and opportunities and experiences that you're going to be involved in. And only you can write the next chapter. And I think if you remember to be gritty, and if you remember to be loyal to one another, and if you realize that the greater goal is bigger than yourself, and that you'll never quit no matter how bad the situation looks like, that the sky really is the limit, and you can do whatever you set your mind to. And so this is such an amazing time in life for you, and I know that you all will do such great things. And I'm just so pleased to be able to celebrate this day with you, and I wish you all the very best. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Asnes. It's always great to hear stories about the people we look up to every day from someone who's on the front lines of some pretty exciting events in life around here in Boston. So we're honored to have you as our speaker. Thank you for spending the time with us today. I want to move to the President's Awards. We had an award ceremony earlier today, but we want to recognize the recipients of the President's Awards. The President's Awards go to the graduates who demonstrate the following: excellence in academic work, outstanding college participation, genuine enthusiasm for learning, excellence in the field of study, positive contribution to the interpersonal relations among students, and a high capacity for contribution to the industry. These graduates are chosen by the faculty of their respective programs. I'm going to ask each person that I call to stand up and remain standing, and we'll give them applause when we have everyone standing. This year's winners are Jessica Conley from the Business Program in Continuing Education. Wait for me. Taylor Greeley from the Business Program in Day, if you can stand up. Jamie Reed from Criminal Justice in the Continuing Ed Division. Sydney Vanderbogart in Criminal Justice in the Day Division. Ariel Lopez from the Entertainment Management in our Day Division. Stephanie Munoz, Asset Merchandising, the Continuing Ed Division. Kendra Drakes from Health Studies, our Day. Caitlin Koleskinov, PTA, and Emily Unger from Nursing in our Day program. Please, round of applause. Let me introduce Dr. William Carroll, our Vice President of Academic Affairs, for further awards. Thank you.
Thank you, President Thanasteel. There are 3 more student awards that were given out this morning, and I'd like to do the same thing, just recognize these students, so please stand. The first is the Community Service Award. It's presented in appreciation to a graduating student who has demonstrated excellence in community service. And this year, the winner from the nursing program is Sean McNeil. Sean, please stand. The next is the Lewis F. Musco Award. It's presented to a first-year student who combines good scholastic ability with outstanding college participation. And the winner will receive a $2,000 scholarship when they begin their second year at Bay State. The winner could not be here today, but it is Alexandra Ortiz from the Criminal Justice Program. And then the third award is the George J. Brennan Jr. Award, and this is also to a first-year student who has attained the highest academic average during their first year at college. This is also a $2,000 scholarship applied to the student's second year at Bay State, and from the management program, and I didn't have a chance to mention this morning because I didn't have it written down, a grade point average of 4.0. This year's winner is John Savage. John, are you still here? So again, congratulations to all the winners. Now we move on to the Faculty Awards. Every year at graduation, Bay State College presents the Distinguished Faculty Award to a faculty member who exhibits excellence in teaching, commitment to the college, dedication to the students' professional and personal development, and who is an inspiration to the college community. The selection from one faculty member from the day program and one faculty member from the evening and online program is not easy, and it's based on a combination of teaching excellence and service to the college. This year's award recipients come from a group of distinguished instructors who have enriched the academic experience of students at Bay State College. And I'm going to begin by presenting the Distinguished Faculty Award from the Day Division, and this year's award is presented to Professor Pam Grill. I'm going to read a few words. Bay State's longest-serving faculty member at more than 25 years, Pam continues to show a remarkable commitment to her students and the larger college community. When describing Pam recently, one of her colleagues said, "I cannot think of anyone more deserving of this award than Pam. She has contributed much to our institution during her many years of service to Bay State. She has been involved in all activities and planning around the Common Reader program, and she has served on various capacities as needed and developed those positions in meaningful student-centered services and activities. With regard to her teaching success, every semester I have students tell me they want to take Professor Grill again. They believe that while tough, she is teaching them to do things the correct way." And we have some quotes from the students. I get to read all the course evaluations. Among the praise, "The subject is hard, but Professor Grill makes it easy. She always makes sure all of her students understand their assignments. She's tough, but I really like her." And finally, "This is a great class, which I learned a ton of practical information on how to write a proper essay. Professor Grill was amazing. She's an excellent teacher who really cares about her students understanding the material. I'm honored to present this award to Professor Pam Grill." Now for the Distinguished Faculty Award from the Evening and Online Division. This year, the award goes to Professor Eric Desmond. I think they're both in shock. A few comments about Eric. One of his colleagues recently said, "Eric consistently provides his colleagues excellent support, especially when setting up our online courses. He's responsive to requests, always resolving questions in a very timely manner. He's positive and knowledgeable." Another colleague said he was a real pleasure to work with. The students find him approachable, yet inspiring. They come away from his classes changed for the better. One of Eric's students wrote, "I honestly have learned so much from this course, from my classmates, and from my professor. Professor Eric Desmond had made the impossible happen to me. He proved that I can learn from an online course. I recently received a promotion at work, and I have to say Professor Desmond's courses have played a major role in this. I am very happy and proud of myself for this accomplishment, and I can't thank Professor Desmond and Bay State enough. I hope Bay State knows how much of a gem and asset Professor Desmond is to the school. His care for ensuring that his students succeed is greatly appreciated." Okay, it's time to proceed with why we're all here, the conferring of degrees. I almost forgot we were going to do this part. I'd like to ask President Phanasio and our speaker, Dr. Peter Asnes, to join us as the diplomas are distributed. The chairs of each academic department will read the names of the degree candidates. I would like to begin by asking Dr. Rosanna Durang, Chair of Health Studies Department, to come forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. From the Department of Allied Health, will the candidate for the Certificate of Medical Assistant please rise and come forward to receive your certificate. Brianna Valentine. Will the candidates for the Associate of Science degree in Health Studies please rise and come forward to receive your diploma. Maria da Silva. Jessica Di Fabrizio. Tiffany De Grazia. Amanda Dern. Kendra Drakes. Michelle Lambert. Kristen McPherson. Reina Salcedo. Samantha Lee Sullivan. Carolyn Valente. Will the candidates for the Associate of Science degree in Medical Office Administration please rise and come forward to receive their diploma? Allison Delendek. Stephanie DePina. Carrie Struck. Now I would like to introduce Kristen Forge, Assistant Professor of Physical Therapist Assistant.
Good afternoon. Will the candidates for the Associate of Science degree in Physical Therapist Assistant please rise and come forward to receive your diploma? Megan Lynn Arsenault. Colleen Black. Michael J. Brown. Jennifer Caniff. Alexander Casey. Mark Francis Castillo. Krista Gallivan. Jamie Galvin. Patricia Hatzenikolau. Lisa Hillengas. Paulette Helen Iannone. Philip Jones. Caitlin Kolesnikov. Samantha Weir. Jacqueline Masucci. Stephanie Prieve. Allison Quill. Jacqueline Rideout. Travis Rogan. Katie Sullivan. Rebecca Supple. Amanda Thomas. Ryan Winter. I would like now to introduce Dr. William Taylor, Dean of School of Management.
Good afternoon and congratulations to all the graduates. Will the candidates for the Associates in Applied Science and Business Administration please rise, come forward, and prepare to receive your degrees. Kashif Bonner. Kelly Martin Seam. Maribel Colazzo. Shannon Foley. Manveer Kaur. Zachary McCall. Sharanjeet Singh Verdi. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Management please rise, come forward, and prepare to receive your degrees. Mike Burns. Jaslyn Carter. Jamie Coggeshall. Inez Cruz. Maria Dimitrick. Tanum Dennis. Jacob Dwyer. Evelyn Fernandez. Bailey Field. Bridget Friend. Simone Gautam. Priscilla Gomez. Andrew Gray. Taylor Greeley. Tracy Griffin. Melissa Hanchard. Nadine Jarvis. Farah Jean-Louis. Dilreet Carr. Rogery Jerome. Alexandra Kyle. Samyam Kanal. Tatiana Kubetsova. Jennifer Kiernan. Mercedes Laranjo. Jeffrey Ludi. Taina Matra. Sherilee Martin. Barbara Melanson. Gail Morellis. Jessica Morris. Scott Barry Peterson. Kathleen Ritchie. Sarah Seagraver. Caitlin Sahlberg. Stephanie Stallings. Matthew James Sunday. Melissa Williams. Oriana Worry. Congratulations. It is now my pleasure and honor to introduce Dr. Patrick Preston, the chair of the Entertainment Management Department.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Will the candidates for the Associate in Applied Science degree in Entertainment Management please rise, come forward to receive your diploma. Emily Lynn Bradshaw. Michael J. D'Antonio. Desi Joseph Garcia. Riley M. Thompson. Next, will the candidates for the Bachelor's of Science degree in Entertainment Management please rise and come forward to receive your diploma. Jonathan Bastille. Jamie Tyler Chisholm. Robert Dennis Coutu. John Patrick Dalton. Thomas Joseph Hardy Jr. Catherine Souza Keeling. Zachary Charles Lewis. Ariel Ann Lopez. Caitlin Mitchell. Robert Patrick Monahan. Yvonne Lillian Morris. Catherine Elizabeth O'Shea. Jake Paul Rollins. Ashley Elise Sanders. Congratulations to all of you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Donna Marie Cesari, the Chair of Fashion Design and Merchandising.
Good afternoon. Will the candidates for the Associate of Applied Science degree in Fashion Design please rise and come forward to receive your diploma? Angie Benaventura. Dominique Cabral. Ashley Conlon. Ashley Paquette. And Laurie Warden. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree in Fashion Merchandising please rise and come forward to receive your diploma? Marie Benugli. Megan Burns. Allison Daniels. Bree Evans. Jasmine Garcia. Caitlin Maynard. Stephanie Munoz. Jennifer Murray. Jenna Neves. Michelle Otero. Samantha Racine. And Rachel Rockwell. I would now like to reintroduce Dr. William Kaler, Dean, School of Management.
Hello again. Will the candidate for the Associates in Applied Science and Information Technology please rise, come forward, and prepare to receive your degree? Stephanie Malov Roman. Will the candidate for the Bachelor of Science in Information Technology please rise, come forward, and prepare to receive your degree? Christina Kawas. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Professor Russell Martin of the Nursing Department.
From the School of Nursing, will the candidates for the Associate of Science degree in Nursing please rise, come forward, and receive your diploma? Teresa Agar Clark. Tina Marie Campo. Alyssa Leverance.
Let's go, baby. You got this.
Sean McNeil. Caitlin Monty. Adriana Morales. Fabienne Pierre-Louis. Tracy Pinnock. Emily Unger. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree in nursing please rise and come forward to receive your diploma? Dawn Albert. Mary Ellen Costa. Jennifer Faherty. Doris Odian Henba. Margaret Omini Ukmember. Emma Rogers. Marie Sampson. Michelle Dempsey Silva. And Patricia Wedge. Now I would like to introduce Dr. William Morissette, Chair of the Department of Social and Human Services.
From the Department of Social and Human Services, will the candidates for the Associate of Science in Criminal Justice please rise, come forward, and prepare to accept your degrees? Carolyn Bibber. Tucker Blett. Shayla Salazar. Alicia Solomon White. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice please rise, come forward, and prepare to accept your degrees? Deborah Barboza. Ileana Bonanno. Nadina Braxton. Christian Cepeda. Kenya Freeman. Stephanie Gigante. Sherelle Harris. Frida Jean Pierre. Chelsea Lindsay. Shauna Lyman. Chanel Mackey. Priscilla Madeira. Karen Pagan. Tracy Lynn Pagan. Jamie Reed. Andrena Reyes. Jennifer Thomas. Sydney Vanderbogart. I'd like to invite back Dr. William Carroll.
Congratulations, everyone. Will the class of 2017 please rise? President Pfannenstiel, on behalf of the Bay State College faculty, I am honored to present to you the candidates for the Associate in Science, Associate in Applied Science, and Bachelor of Science who have completed all the requirements for those respective degrees. I present these candidates to you so that their degrees may be granted.
Thank you, Dr. Carroll. And by the authority vested in me by the Bay State College Board of Trustees and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and upon the recommendation and approval of the Bay State College faculty, I award to each of you your respective degrees with all the rights, privileges, opportunities, and responsibilities therein. You are now able to participate in the long tradition of turning of the tassel, symbolizing your move from a student to a graduate. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the administration, faculty, and staff, I want to remind you that you are now part of the Bay State College family of graduates. And even though you are leaving the college, we will always be there to provide guidance and support. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2017. The order of the recessional is first dignitaries, second faculty, third students, and fourth guests. I would like to request the graduates and audience stand. The 71st commencement ceremony at Bay State College is now closed.